Your voice, your vote. The final debate of the 2020 campaign wrapped up just a short time ago.
And it was in stark contrast from the first debate in which both candidates interrupted and talked over each other. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is in Nashville with the highlights.
President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden facing off for their second and final debate. 90 minutes focused on 6 main topics. The first, the coronavirus pandemic, which has killed more than 220,000 Americans.
We have a vaccine that's coming. It's ready. It's going to be announced within weeks.
Is that a guarantee?
No, it's not a guarantee, but it will be by the end of the year.
This is the same fellow who told you this is going to end by Easter last time. This is the same fellow who told you that, don't worry, we're going to end this by the summer. He has no clear plan.
The candidates then moving to more personal attacks.
You were getting a lot of money from Russia. They were paying you a lot of money, and they probably still are.
I have not taken a penny from any foreign source ever in my life. We learned that this president paid 50 times the tax in China, has a secret bank account with China, does business in China, and in fact is talking about me taking money.
His son didn't have a job for a long time. As soon as he became vice president, Burisma, not the best reputation in the world. I hear they paid him $183,000 a month.
No basis for that. Everybody investigated that. No one said anything he did was wrong in Ukraine.
This debate a contrast to the last, with contentious but far less chaotic exchanges.
We have to provide health insurance for people at an affordable rate, and that's what I do.
He was now there as vice president for 8 years, and it's not like it was 25 years ago. It was 3 3/4. It was just a little while ago, right? Less than 4 years ago. He didn't do anything. He didn't do it. He wants socialized medicine.
He thinks he's running against somebody else. This is the guy who's tried to cut Medicare.
And now with the debate behind them, it is the sprint to the finish line. President Trump pledging to hold multiple rallies every day between now and November 3rd. He'll travel to Florida tomorrow, where former President Barack Obama will be this weekend, stumping for his former VP. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Nashville.
Before that sprint to the finish, joining us now to talk about tonight's debate is Dr. Kira Green with the Center on Policy Initiatives. Dr. Green, let's start with this first of all. A record number of Americans have already voted early, but for those who are still undecided, have not voted yet, how did the changes in this debate format and the civility that took place in this debate compared to the first debate help those voters make up their minds?
Well, Steve, what I would say is that tonight's debate was probably better characterized as being quieter rather than more civil. They covered a lot more topics because there was better turn taking, and I think voters had an opportunity to hear the clear contrast between these two candidates. But I do think that one of the things that they heard in terms of this lack of civility was the attacks on Hunter Biden. And I think those are really challenging for the president because, frankly, they raise questions around his own honesty and ethics, and that's already a challenging space for him. And Biden did seem to have answers for most of those challenges regarding his ethics and character.
So aside from those personal attacks, coronavirus was a major topic tonight once again. The president was on the defensive. Joe Biden was pressed to show how he would handle the pandemic if elected. Did any of the two stand out in your mind on this topic?
I actually think this is another example of the very clear contrast between them. And really, they're appealing to different aspects of the voters' minds. Trump focused on reopening to avoid the deaths of businesses, and Joe Biden really focused on safer reopening in order to avoid the deaths of individuals. And it's going to be up to voters which one of those arguments really lands with them.
We got through a lot of other topics tonight, including international relations, healthcare, the economy, immigration, a lot more. With this being the last debate, what did each candidate say in relation to one of these topics that helped or hurt their campaign tonight?
I think that for each of them, I'm going to focus on something I think really helped them. I think the president actually did a very good job on the issue of climate change. And while there were some of the typical challenges that the president faces, he did in this answer give more details, have a greater command of the facts and really focus there to a great extent. So I think that was a strong answer for him. In contrast, I think where Joe Biden stood out was actually his answers around healthcare. Again, he had very clear answers, and those are real the real strong point of his own background, a place that he led in the last administration, and he really came back there with clear ideas about how he would address healthcare in his administration.
I think the winners tonight were the American people. They finally got to hear something. Dr. Kira Green, thank you for your insight.